for today's cup of coffee.
Cup of coffee.
Oh.
Today has been a day.
It has. We had to take oldest kid for a procedure, which that went well. As far as we know, the doctor and stuff like that. As far as him having H. pylori years ago.
Yeah.
And them trying to make sure what is going on with this kid. Because this kid's been unwell for years.
Mm-hmm.
And so there is the SIBO test that he was supposed to have prior to, that the equipment broke down. And mercury was not in mayonnaise that day.
No.
But he's going to have to go back and have that, again, later on here in the month of August.
Loves it.
It's interesting. And they were talking about today as far as the energies in the Virgo and stuff like that. And some people were going to be grumpy and this and that. And he was grumpy because he had not been able to eat for a couple of days and no nicotine.
God love him.
And as far as the other prep, because I can go ahead and tell, can't I?
Yeah.
He had a colonoscopy again.
Uh-huh.
To make sure, because he has had IBS and stuff, he and youngest kid over here both, which are anxiety related. We'll get to that in just a moment. But to make sure that there was not anything else going on.
Mm-hmm. Luckily, everything seemed to be fine.
But as far as, because the youngest kid and I are how we are, and then we had oldest kid he has a tendency to be rather serious a lot, more so than he should be, but he is. And so here he is. He's had no nicotine. He's had no food. He's grumpy.
Yeah. Be grumpy.
And so I am one of these, if somebody's like, I'll make it worse because I can.
Don't make it worse.
Well, it's a matter of I'm not going to just laugh about it. I mean, it wasn't like I was sitting there eating something in front of him or whatever. Yeah. But as far as him being concerned if he smelled of smoke, and I said, look. All you have to do is tell these people that your mama smokes, and I am Uber.
Your mama smokes and your brother smokes.
And so it's incredible.
Literally.
Because part of this goes into this. We have the spirit of fear that is gnawing on people, consuming people right now. And one of my favorite quotes, and I also know that it's one of Thomas Sullivan's favorite quotes. You may know him when he pops on board as Tom Ladd in The Crow's Nest. Mm-hmm. And the Dune series has some amazing wisdom. This is a very well thought out. I'm not saying it's perfect, but it is an exercise for your brain. And this one here says, I must not fear. Fear is the mind killer. Fear is the little death that brings total obliteration. I will face my fear. I will permit it to pass over me and through me. And when it has gone past, I will turn the inner eye to see its path. Where the fear has gone, there will be nothing. Only I will remain. That's an incredible...
That's powerful.
Frank Herbert. Like I said, that whole series. Now, I didn't finish. There were 2 or 3 books that I didn't finish for reasons. Because I've got a moon in Gemini. But just incredible. And anytime that I have had that spirit of fear, and it is a spirit, I will go back and read things like that. And
it's needed.
It is needed. And as far as scripturally, in 2 Timothy 1:7, For God has not given us a spirit of fear, but of power and of love and of a sound mind. And I had happened upon a video last night. We are recording this on August the 7th of 2024 at 8:33 p.m.
Loves it.
33s.
Loves it.
It just happens. It really does. But it's like, because I like me some Alex Jones from time to time. And in these times, I'm like, dude, really? Really? But anytime I listen to him, I'm also spirit of discernment. To be able to tell right from wrong.
Mm-hmm.
To be able to discern whether somebody is speaking truth or not.
Right.
And there's half-truths that the devil uses, and right now, that's rampant. Coffee slurping.
It is very rampant. And it's not, we need the full truth, the whole truth.
We do. And so, somebody had uploaded a part of an Alex Jones show where this guy, and I had heard him on something else before, and this happens lots, that you will have these people that come out. Anytime you've got somebody that's claiming that they are a prophet, that's a red flag.
Yeah. Yeah, it is very much a red flag. You don't do that.
I fear the word prophet. I can sit there and go, God showed me something, God told me something. I like the term seer. It doesn't happen every day.
Well, you can be a seer, but a seer is not the same thing as a prophet.
Because there was a specific thing as far as to be a prophet.
Yeah.
If you had one thing wrong, that was it. That was it. You were not a true prophet.
Mm-hmm.
So, when you've got some of these people that's coming on there and going, oh, this and that, and God love him, kid over there and on the TikTok, and it's like, honey, put the thing down.
Yeah, I do need to do that because, like, I hear some of these people, like, talking about, like, how they're getting these words from God or whatever, and sometimes it's like, okay, is that actually true?
This is where you need to learn to pray and meditate and seek the word yourself.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Because he will speak. It doesn't have to be that different ways for different people, because he's an individual God.
Yeah.
He's one God, but he knows. That's the wonderful thing about it. He knows what you need. What you need may be different than what I need or what somebody else needs.
Mm-hmm.
But the thing that I saw on that video that was highly concerning about this dude was that he had claimed that God had shown him that they was going to put something as far as like in insulin and other things that certain people need. And so I let it go as just bullshit because of some of the things that we have had over the past several years.
Yeah.
And I thought, you know what, I can't. I mean, I stopped the video, went outside, got a smoke. It was still on my heart. And so I came back in, and I'm like, I challenged it. I said, question. I said, I have many questions. I didn't even finish the whole video because I heard enough to where I didn't need to hear the rest.
Mm-hmm.
Why would I?
Because that's sort of fear-mongering.
Yes. And I asked, because whoever put this online, the question was, is he saying that he believes that God is going to allow all diabetics to be killed? Now, whoever's channel it was never responded.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like, I said, do you not understand that somebody could listen to this and that it frightened them and make them stop using their medication?
That's exactly what can and will happen.
Now
that's not good.
Whoever put that up, they have responsibility over that.
Yeah.
Now, that's the type of shit that I take seriously. Now, do I believe that God's going to kill all the diabetics during this period of time? No. Do I understand those of us that are insulin dependent, that puts us at a greater risk? Yeah, I do. And it's like, if it's my time, they ain't nothing going to stop that. But it will be because God says, okay, yeah, it's your time. But I just thought that was highly irresponsible.
That sort of stuff is highly irresponsible.
And then the stupid people came out. Because, of course, they do.
Started commenting on your thing?
Mm-hmm. Wasn't the person whose channel it was. Not so far, anyhow. Mm-hmm. And I'm thinking, there was not enough comments to where somebody wouldn't have seen it.
Right. So
they just chose not to engage with it.
Right.
And so the one person that had commented, it's like, well, diabetes can be cured as far as if somebody gets rid of obesity and gluttony. And my response was, really? What about some of these small children that are type 1?
Mm-hmm.
So that would shut that one down. It didn't respond again. So you had another one that tried to add to sit there and go, well, God has been telling people to lose weight and get in shape and stuff. And it's like, okay. I mean, I don't know that God has to tell anybody that.
No.
But I said, do you understand that diabetes is an autoimmune disease? And that it's one of those things that it can happen regardless of what someone does and does not do. There are people that are born type 1.
Yes.
There are children that develop it early in life. There are some of us that develop it later in life.
Mm-hmm. There's a YouTuber called Made You Look. She is type 1 diabetic and has been that way since she was born.
Right. So these people, I don't know what their concept of God is, but it's not the same concept that I have of God. It reminded me of the Pharisees looking at a blind man and sitting there and asking Jesus, okay, who made him blind? Did his parents sin or did he sin? And Jesus didn't even, because he's God.
Mm-hmm.
He said neither. He said it's to show the glory of God, and he healed the man, and the man could see. And so what we're seeing right now is the devil trying to trip people up.
Yes.
But it's also, you can't fix stupid.
No.
And it makes you understand how, and honest to God, I was telling the oldest kid about some of this. I said, I can read some of this stuff and it makes me almost lose faith in humanity.
Oh, it certainly will do that. It absolutely will do that. And it's like, that's when you back off. You gotta back off.
You do, and let stupid people do.
Because it's like, what you see on the internet is not necessarily real life.
No, it's not. No, it's not. And if somebody is that, they don't understand how diabetes works, and a lot of them don't want to know. They want to believe they are right. To tell the truth, they really don't know why diabetes happens.
Well, it's an autoimmune disorder.
It is an autoimmune something. But I will tell you this, stress does not help the situation.
No. I mean, that's with any illness. It just, it worsens whatever illness it is.
Right. Right. And that is like the anxiety and stuff like that. And it's this free-floating fear. And it's also one of those, the brain chemistry not quite right. And we have a tremendous amount of people, I don't want to say victim blaming, but sort of victim blaming, for lack of a better term.
Yeah, I mean, that's exactly what it is.
I mean, that's just like, to blame somebody because they have a disease.
It's to blame someone for getting some sort of disease that is not the person's fault.
Right.
That is not something that is in people's control.
Even as far as, and this is one of the things, and God bless him, as far as Richard Simmons when he passed, he understood. He understood people. He understood the throwaway people. A lot of the people that are obese, sometimes can it lead to type 2 diabetes? Yes, it can. Because the body is not designed to be really, really large. Mm-hmm. Which makes you wonder, why does the body, how is it that it can get really, really large? But these are questions. But to sit there, most of the time these people have got some kind of mental health something.
Yeah.
Sometimes it is a undiagnosed physical something. You know?
Yeah.
It's an individual thing. But to sit there and just lump everybody who's got a weight issue into a category, and this othering, more othering.
A category that doesn't even fit.
No. That is hurtful and harmful.
It is.
And this is where, now, do people have control of what they say?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. But if you sit there and go, you're responsible. I am responsible for whatever that I put on the internet. I always try to be careful. I can speak my mind, but it's the words that I use. I choose to either be a blessing or a curse, to lift somebody up or knock them down. I will be held accountable for the words that I use.
Yes.
I understand that.
Everybody is responsible for the words that come out of their mouth. That's why it's like, if you feel like you're about to snap at someone, it's like, no, the Jesus Christ, please put a guard in my mouth. Put a guard in my mouth. Don't let me speak. You speak through me. You speak through me right now, because what I want to say ain't kind.
Now, we did read that book. I can't remember the name of it, but it was where the What Would Jesus Do came from. I can't remember what the book. It was a great book. And the basis of the book was a group of people who said that they followed Christ to actually put it into action. Imagine that.
Yeah.
And that included the businessman and this person and the other person. And it showed them about themselves. Mm-hmm. And you've got so many people that want to point the finger.
It's like, no, you got to look inward first before you even dare accuse someone else.
Sure. And this is a matter of time of faith.
Oh.
For everybody.
Yeah, it's
to
a
find
struggle.
What do you believe in? Why do you believe in that? Where's the evidence behind that? Does it say what you think it says? Again, with Michael Heiser, I adored the man. Mm-hmm. What you think is so, what you think you know may not be so. Because there have been so many things that have been cherry-picked and taken out of context. He said the best thing to do as far as the Bible is to read it just like a book, from beginning to end. Mm-hmm. And there's different translations. I mean, I love this Bible Gateway. That cat make a nasty noise. Bible Gateway, and you can, at click of a mouse, you can have this huge laundry list of different translations.
Yeah.
And to sit and compare and contrast, because it gives you a nuance of the word.
Right.
Even normal everyday words that we use, that was just like, as far as, what was the word that I had there a week or so ago? Oh my God, I can't
Epiglottis?
Well, that one too. That's a good word. I like the word epiglottis. There's a lot of cool words. But what was it? It wasn't retaliation. What was it? Oh, I can't think. But anyhow, to sit there and really go back and look at the definition of that word.
Mm-hmm.
And that it meant not only as far as, hang on just a minute, let me see if I can go back through here. I hate that when I do, it's have to, in the middle of something. Because this is how my brain works. But anyhow, that it meant not just, reaping what you sowed. Well, it was reaping what you sowed. But that was both good and bad.
Mm-hmm.
I'll think of it here in a minute.
Repercussion. No.
Something. It was a specific word that this is why it was not something that on a normal basis that I would think of. This is where you have to be attentive to the Spirit to sit there and go, okay, Lord, I need to make... And this, when you get a word, you think you've got a word, whatever it is a matter of asking for confirmation. You're supposed to do that.
Yeah.
Lord, is this you? This is testing the spirits to see if they're of God or not.
And some people are like, you can't like say that it's against God's word or whatever to test the spirit.
No, that's different. There's a difference between tempting God. It does tell you to test the spirits to make sure that it's of God.
Okay.
And this is what happens so often because people have not been taught. Now, oldest kid, he will go off on this tangent as far as, the 1500 years, as far as, the Catholic Church and stuff. Well, there was a lot of other years, thousands of years prior to that.
Right.
I'll think of it. If I think of it, I'll put it in the description box because I'm not going to break the flow of talking about this. It's okay to ask for confirmation because God will give this to you. Mm-hmm. And again, with the 2013, I had done this years before, but the experience in 2013, and I'm like, Lord, I need to know this is confirmation. And He would give me confirmation. Mm-hmm. In no uncertain terms.
Yeah.
Where I knew that it was Him. Or to sit there and go, I don't want to do that. And Him going, you go do that.
He does that to people a lot.
Yeah.
Like, Lord, I don't want to do this. I don't want to talk to this person. You go talk to that person.
Part of it was really interesting in the fact that to ask people for prayer, like stopping at road construction, dude sitting there holding a sign, roll down the window, go, hey, will you pray for my husband?
Mm-hmm.
And him going, yeah. Bristol, they're at the courthouse doing something about something. Dude going across, I'm like, hey, would you pray for my husband? And he's like, yeah. Will you pray for whoever was in his family? Yes, I will. Mm-hmm. It's not always that God asks you something crazy,
Yeah, it's those things that are just real simple.
Yeah. But as far as sitting there giving somebody a word that they're going to poison a medication that millions of people are dependent on.
No, that's the devil trying to scare people.
And somebody to re-upload that.
There's been a lot of shit that I've seen floating around that people saying that, oh, this is a word from God, this is a word from God, and it causes fear.
Yes, it does. And fear is a contagion.
Yeah. It's not of God.
No. Just read. It is not of God. I'm not saying we're not going to go through some things at times of trial and tribulation. We were told we were going to go through times of trial and tribulation.
Mm-hmm.
But as far as spreading fear, and there's some people that's like, well, I'm just trying to get people prepared. Are you? Are you trying to get them prepared, or are you trying to put a spirit of fear on them?
People need to ask those questions. That's what I did. I'm a shit poster on a lot of that shit. I'm like, dude, this is spreading fear. Don't do that.
Now, there is a difference. During the time of Noah, this is what people don't get because they don't understand the basis of a lot. A lot. During the times of Noah, God did tell him, yes, build the ark.
Yeah.
Because it had never rained. There was a mist that would come up and water the plants.
Mm-hmm.
But also during the time of Noah, you had Nephilim.
Yeah.
As far as him being righteous, what that meant, and somebody else going to have to search because I did not come prepared on as far as the actual translation and all that stuff. It meant that he was genetically human, that his DNA had not been tampered with.
Yep.
And the thing is, after the flood, it happened again.
Mm-hmm.
It maybe not in the same way, but it did happen again as far as Goliath. That was the reason on some of these things, God's like, no, you need to go and wipe out all that, because those people had been genetically tampered with. The animals, everything.
Yeah.
It's there if people go deeper than surface level. But most people don't want to do that because it costs effort and work.
Yes.
And I've spent years and I still don't feel like I know enough to fill a thimble.
That is the true. When you realize you don't know much, you don't know nothing, that is true wisdom right there. But the thing is, you know a lot. You have studied for years.
If I have a question,
You will.
I have, also at my fingertips, I have the modern day Library of Alexandria that I can go and say, what did Michael Heiser say about this? What did this person say about this? What did that person say about that? And the one thing I will tell you, that the prophets in the Bible and stuff, none of them had a mega church. I said it.
That is true. That is true. Because they were not doing it for the money. A lot of the true prophets were poor.
Yeah. Yeah. And they did not, that was not a job you wanted.
No.
Because those people suffered and most of them were killed.
Yes.
In horrific ways. Go and read it. It was not a job that they wanted. But please be discerning.
Yeah.
If somebody says that God said, learn to pray and reach out and listen and hear God for yourself. And if you're listening to something and you get that in your stomach, it's like, something ain't right. Or however it appears to you, that's how it does to me. It's just like, It's always done that.
Yeah.
Pay attention to that. Pay attention to that. Then go and God will help. If you're asking Him to show you wisdom and truth, He will show you that because He's faithful.
Yes.
It's not His will that any perish. This is the reason we wonder, why is it that He lets some of these evil people go on, whatever. Some of them is to test people's faith. Some of it is because people make piss poor choices because we're human.
Yes.
Some of it is because good people sit on their asses and keep their mouths shut.
Mm-hmm.
There's a variety of reasons, but it is not His will that any perish. He told us to pray for our enemies. Even pray for those in positions of power. You don't have to like them. That is a human being.
It is. Well, some of them I question that.
Well, we do too. But anyhow, if they in
That's
human form, we're supposed to sit there. And some of the prayer is just like, God, I don't even know how to pray. You do what you need to do.
Yeah, pretty much. That's what I got. It's like, Lord, please help them. Please open their eyes, open their hearts, open their ears to you.
But like I said, it was just one of those, I thought that was highly irresponsible of whoever uploaded that. And I'm sure that they believed that. But did they do their research and their due diligence before they ever reposted that?
Most of the time, no. No. I mean, think when people during the coof, when people were like, "Do your own research,"
Yes.
and people would mock them.
Sure.
Even now.
Yep. So, anyhow, final thoughts, kid. I didn't mean to go on a rant, but I needed to go on a rant.
It's okay. Pray for the spirit of discernment.
Yeah.
Because I will say some of this shit that some of these people, I certainly have been sent into panic attacks because of some of these people. It's not fucking cool.
No.
And it does make you question.
Sure.
It makes you question your stability in God and in your faith. It sucks.
And he said, "He that believeth in me shall be saved." Period. No other hoops to jump through. None of this and that and the other.
Well, he does say study and make yourself approved.
I don't know that was Paul that said that.
Well, if it wasn't, if it was someone else that said it, and it wasn't actual God, if it wasn't actually God that said it,
right? Because he made it so simple that even a podling can understand.
Sometimes it just doesn't feel like, one, it doesn't feel like I'm worthy. Two, it never feels like I'm able to do enough for God.
That's the whole thing. That's the grace. And this is where Brandon Manning, and we need to sit and listen to some of his stuff. Grace is the unearned merit of God. There is nothing that we could do to ever earn it. It was a free gift.
No, it's not even that I'm trying to earn it. It's just I'm trying to make him proud. Trying to make him happy.
And this is where I have used the example. Just earthly example. You're my child. Is there anything that you could ever do that would make me stop loving you? No. Now, there would be things, if you went out here and you did something heinous, I would not like what you did, but you would still be my child, and I would still love you, and I would still hope that you would see the error of your ways. Yeah. And if a human can get that concept, how much greater is God in that concept?
It's beyond, it's beyond what our minds can comprehend.
Sure.
Our human minds.
Most of the things that people do is out of fear. And part of that fear is because they don't believe they're loved. And this is I've preached this for years. If every person could wake up each day and understand that they were created from love, to be loved, and they went forth showing that love to other people, how different could our world be?
It would be a completely different world. We probably wouldn't be in the mess. We more than likely wouldn't be in the mess that we are now if people just showed each other love.
Right. That was the whole message. That was his message. It's still his message. So, if you've had experiences with paranormal or supernatural, encounters with UFOs, aliens, cryptids, tinfoil hats, you can send us an email, cupofcoffeewithscream@gmail.com. It's there in the description box.
And if you like this video, subscribe, comment, like, share. Check her out on BitChute, Rumble, and YouTube at Orlanda's Cup of Coffee with Scream. Also check her out on X, previously known as Twitter, Orlanda, COCWS. Thank you all for joining us. Have a good
Know that you are loved.
Mm-hmm.
Treat other people the way that you would like to be treated. And Lord willing, we'll see you on the next go.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.